All right, welcome back to The Exchange. We've got breaking news out of Washington, D.C. Steve Leisman has that story. Steve.
Dom, thanks. We have the opening statement for Stephen Miran. He is the candidate for a Federal Reserve job that is open right now, and he is going to say that independence of monetary policy is critical for its success. He pledges, or he says he intends to preserve the independence of the Fed. That is obviously a question when it comes to appointees of President Trump to the Federal Reserve Board, in the sense that he has called outright for lower interest rates and, of course, called for Jay Powell's resignation, as well as firing Lisa Cook over issues of surrounding her mortgages. He does say Miran also says the ultimate composition of the Fed's balance sheet is an open-ended question. There is some talk, Domenico, about whether or not the Fed should be addressing the size of its balance sheet. Many feel it doesn't really have much of an effect. Others think it's a big source of potential stimulus to the economy. So mark that as something to watch with Steve Miran. Of course, he was recently confirmed as CEA chair, so that is he may not be such a controversial nomination or hearing process, but certainly going to get some resistance or some questions about this issue of Fed independence, Dom.
Steve, if I could just follow up really quickly, how you kind of alluded to it, but just how difficult of a confirmation process could this hypothetically be for Miran? Just out of curiosity, I want to know, because this is a 4-month term, basically a 3-month term for Adriana Kugler's open spot.
Yeah, for the Kugler job, which there was some talk about moving him over to the job that could be open from Lisa Cook, but of course that job is, I suppose, not technically open right now, so they haven't really proposed anybody yet for that job. But look, it depends on how much of a deal that Democrats want to make out of this in terms of the issue of Fed independence, in terms of some of the more controversial stances that Stephen Miran has taken about wanting a weak dollar, being in favor and one of the proponents and even architects of the president's tariff policy. Obviously, the Republicans, who have the majority in the Senate, have not made a big deal of this. It was known before he became CEA chair. So we'll see. The Democrats have a lot of things on their plates, including what you heard about in the last segment about the shutdown of the government. And I'm not sure this is really going to be a place where they're going to dig in, especially not with this position, which is open, rather than the Cook position, where there could be more opposition, perhaps even bipartisan opposition, depending upon how the judge rules in the Cook case.
All right, Steve Leisman with the latest on the Fed state of play. Thank you very much for that.